Okay, so this week we actually got a lot more information about update 1.0.2 for Payday 3. We had 2 live streams from Starbreeze, admittedly one with more information than the other, but that's what we're here to discuss today. The first live stream was about the new animations coming with this update to Payday 3. These animations range from things to do with interactions with the world, like opening air vents, bagging loot and so on, all the way down to weapon inspects, and we've been told that these aren't all the animations we're going to be getting, and more will be coming in the future, so that's a really good start. Again, something that probably should have been in the game from launch, but we'll have it soon enough. We were actually given a show reel of all of these animations, and that's what you're looking at right now. The second live stream was a much bigger presentation from Andreas and Elizabeth, where they went over some of the headlining features coming in this update. There are much more detailed patch notes to come, but we'll be getting those closer to launch. Well, we'll actually be getting them on the day of launch, which is something that I'm not too keen on. I would quite like patch notes at least a day or so before an update rolls out, and so hopefully that's something we'll start to see in the future. Regardless, let's talk about the presentation. Now, I'm not going to be rehashing the same points I made in last week's video, so if there's anything you feel like I've missed, there's a chance I mentioned it there. First of all, we got some more news about the challenge system and how that's going to be displayed to the player. Challenges you're nearest to completing are going to be displayed in a recommended challenge section on the main menu of the game, and as you go to select a heist, you'll be given heist-specific recommended challenges. We are also finally getting another way of earning infamy points. We'll be able to do this by completing heists, securing all of the loot available, and completing the heist in stealth. Those are 3 distinct boxes to check. You can do one, or you can do all 3 within a heist, and the amount of infamy points you earn will reflect how many of those boxes you tick. The amount of infamy points you earn will be affected by which heist you complete and on what difficulty. I personally quite like these being the 3 requirements to earn infamy points from heists. My main issue comes from the third criteria, securing all bags. I personally would like to see it a bit more percentage based. If you secure 50% of the bags, maybe you earn 50% of the total infamy points available for securing all of the loot bags. Mainly because when it comes to, especially within the new heists like Cook-Off, where there are 19 bags to secure, you're virtually never going to be securing the full amount of loot. Unless, of course, the amount of infamy points you earned are balanced perfectly. It's either too big of a time commitment or too challenging. As we'll get to in a bit, securing all 19 bags on Cook-Off doesn't seem like something Starbreeze are expecting each player to do every time they play the heist. And if you take a look at my all loot secured solo stealth run of Golden Shark, that took me just over 40 minutes, and over half of that was just securing the loot. Now, I understand you're likely only supposed to do 2 of the 3 options, complete the heist in either stealth or complete the heist by securing all bags. I just think by rewarding players for the amount of bags they secure rather than just rewarding them for securing all of the bags is the better way to go when it comes to this challenge, though I'm open for a discussion about that, and if you feel differently, please let me know in the comment section down below. Further to your infamy level and sort of overall player rank, we now have a new system coming known as renown levels. How exactly these work haven't been clarified too well in my opinion, but they are an additional 1,188 levels, do not ask me why that number is so specific, available after reaching rank 150, the maximum rank in Payday 3, at least for now. What these renown levels offer you are cosmetics. Every couple of levels, I'm imagining, I mean there aren't 1,188 individual cosmetic items, we've had that confirmed, you'll be rewarded with a consumable cosmetic item. Now I want to highlight the word consumable here. For example, if these are materials, and you can use them to turn your weapon a specific shade of purple, you will earn 1 and you will be able to use it once. If you want to use that again, you will then need to re-earn that from your renown level. How exactly that's going to work isn't entirely clear yet. Is there like a shop? Can I buy the same thing with my renown points over and over again if I really like it? Or do I have to get lucky and earn it again as a random reward? That is something we'll hopefully find out more about in the patch notes. If not, we'll have to wait and see when the full update's out. Speaking of things that we're going to have to wait for the patch notes to learn more about, we now know 4 of the 200 plus bug fixes / quality of life improvements. Namely that PC will be getting a lobby chat, some skills will be rebalanced, you will finally be able to mute contractor voiceover, so when you're in the menu you won't have to hear them brief you on the heist every single time. And most importantly from my perspective, crew AI are getting a 300% health increase, so they will have 4 times the health. As somebody who doesn't like playing with other heisters too much and prefers playing with bots, this is so nice. The bots are practically useless once you get to very hard, let alone overkill, and so hopefully this will go a long way. Speaking of other heisters. It's been confirmed twice, I think, this week, that internally Starbreeze do know who the next heister is going to be, and in the live stream the other day, Andreas kind of gave us one of those "you'll have to wait and find out" answers. He was being quite vague and arguably cryptic about it. Part of that led me to believe that perhaps a new heister could be coming in this update, though I reckon that will come with DLC 1, Syntax Error. And we had a little bit of discussion about Syntax Error and when that will release, being DLC 1. Elizabeth said Q4 2023, so within the next month of December, and Andreas was quite quick to butt in and say the DLC has been confirmed for the winter period, so potentially and most likely it'll be releasing in January, maybe even February, which is a little bit later than I would have liked. But again, just to clarify, none of that has been confirmed. That's just me reading into a little interaction between Andreas and Elizabeth. And anyway, returning back to the update at hand, we heard a little bit more about how the legacy heists in general are going to work. As we already knew, these heists are remakes, not remasters, so they don't necessarily take place within the same context, they're just the same heists, if that makes sense. Which is quite easy to explain away when it comes to Turbid Station, for example. We could just say, hey look, it's just another station, but I imagine if we ever see a remake of something like the White House heist, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to explain, not that it really matters. Though, of course, these heists in a way are canon to the Payday 3 story, because obviously they all did happen during Payday 2, and I guess Starbreeze are going to be paying homage to that, at least in a way, because they've described, especially for Cook-Off, that Shade will be reading Bane's notes, for example, when it comes to cooking the meth in that heist, and so I'm sure there will be subtle Easter eggs and references to the fact that these heists did happen, but aren't happening right now. I don't know, but I'm sure Starbreeze will have fun with it, as they always do. End of the day, it's not that important. These heists are completely separate from the main heist in Payday 3. So separate, in fact, they're going to be getting their own Legacy Heists tab, which I think is quite a good idea. You'll be able to select whether you want to play Payday 3 heists or Payday 2 heists, assuming we don't bring back any heists from Payday the Heist, but even if they did, technically, they are all Payday 2 heists because they were all brought into Payday 2. It gets confusing, but welcome to Payday, I guess. I mean, do I need to remind you about all of the lore associated with Payday 2 and the Kataru and the Three Kings and so on and so forth? This is a confusing franchise to say the least, and that's what we love about it. But anyway, I digress. Just to make one final point about the Legacy Heists and Cook-Off specifically, the 19 bag cap doesn't seem like such a bad thing to me. It seems like many people won't be reaching the full 19 bags anyway, just from the way that the remake of this heist has been described. But then again, Starbreeze have always been very community driven, and so perhaps if people are loud enough, they will remove this 19 bag cap and let us destroy the economy. Speaking of Starbreeze being community driven, and I know that I probably sound like a broken record saying this again, towards the end of the last live stream, they take the time to apologize again for the state of launch, and for that, as I always say, I will commend them each and every time. And so with that all said, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like on the video. If you disliked the video, drop a dislike on the video. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.